My last name is Davids. My motto has been Davids versus Goliath. Goliath being the system. Goliath is the system. It's not a certain person. It's not the teachers. It's not the administrators. It is the system that prioritizes the system above everything else. Above the teachers, above the students, above the administrators.
And as talked earlier, we mentioned incremental wins. There's something that's kind of unique in this Board of Education race. And you need to understand it was because of the people of this party putting pressure, showing up, supporting these candidates. There's no incumbents in these races. That's because of you. This is unique because you put the effort in over the last several years, and that gives our candidates a very neutral opportunity without a known recognition name there. Thank you for continuing to support the three that were on there and putting our current candidates in a position to move forward. An additional candidate is Liz Davids, running for, Liz, is your district here right in this location as well? Liz Davids running for District 1.
I should never go after Linda. Never, ever anymore am I going after Linda. I thought I was feeling feisty after the Flynn movie last night. Oh no, Linda beat me in droves. What I did love about that Flynn movie last night is how he fought for what was right, and he held the system accountable. And so when I saw the other candidate she announced last August, and I looked into what she believed and who she stood with and what she stood for, I couldn't not fight for our kids. My district is not very favorable to conservatives. It's a D+10 district, which means if she and I were a carbon copy of each other, just because she's a Democrat and I'm a Republican, it would automatically be 55 to 45. That's what D+10 means. My last name is Davids. My motto has been Davids versus Goliath. Goliath being the system. Goliath is the system. It's not a certain person. It's not the teachers. It's not the administrators. It is the system that prioritizes the system above everything else. Above the teachers, above the students, above the administrators. The teachers have a union, and even that union doesn't always fight for them. We know of certain cases where they have voted against 85% of what their members wanted and 88% of what the parents wanted. So the teachers union doesn't even fight for the teachers all the time. And where is the children's union? Where are the parents union? That's us. We have to be our own advocates against this system. Our students are not excelling across the state. Only 58% of our students are proficient in English and math. We're not talking science, we're not talking foreign languages, English and math, 58% proficient. That's not acceptable. It's not sustainable. They don't feel safe. They're experiencing bullying. They're not prepared for a successful life through the academics and the life skills that our schools are teaching them. And our teachers aren't excelling either. We have a teacher shortage crisis. It's only gotten worse under the system that keeps going. Last year, over 900 positions across our state went unfilled. That's unsustainable. Teachers are leaving the profession in droves, and the antiquated and unnecessarily burdensome processes of our teacher certification process are making it worse. For instance, there's a private school here in Lincoln that found a French teacher that they love. She was born in France, has her bachelor's from France, taught in Arizona for 10 years. Nebraska will not recognize any of that. They liked her so much that they hired her, but they have to employ another Nebraska certified teacher in the same room with her at all times when she's teaching. They have to pay 2 teachers to get 1 good teacher out of the deal, and that's a private school. So things like that are just ridiculous. We can go to Colorado and teach, no problem. But if a Coloradan wants to come into Nebraska and teach, they have to jump through hoops. They have to go student teach for a semester, pay for 16 credit hours. We're losing good people because we're insulting them with our processes. And then let's talk about the money. 13% of our state's income taxes are allocated to the Nebraska Department of Education. The budget for the NDE this year, $2 billion. $2 billion. And while conservative-minded board members are the minority, the pet project spending and the rubber stamping will continue. And then 60 to 70% of our property taxes are allocated to our public schools. We want them to educate our students well, and yet over the past 20 years, the number of teachers hired has remained a pretty constant 8%. The number of administrators hired, 88% increase over 20 years. Teachers are the ones that have direct involvement with our students, not administrators. We love good administrators, but we need to focus on the teachers. So my district is essentially a D+10 district with 10% more Democrat voters than Republicans. It's very much David's versus Goliath. Like Linda, I echo that I need your prayers. I need your dollars. I need your local connections with other like-minded Lincolnites and any volunteer hours you can walk for me. If you don't already have a ticket for the June 6th event in Ashland, it's going to be fantastic. It will support all 3 State Board of Education candidates. Please, please, please come out and support us. And you can hear from the 3 current state board members and the 3 conservative board candidates as well. I may be fighting for the kids in a scenario that feels like it's David's versus Goliath, but we all know how God came through back then, and he is the same God today. Thank you.